Greetings Gimps, you know what I'm going to be doing in this video? I'm going to be going through bearings of ranging values about £20, that's around $30, all the way up to $130 worth of value in bearings. Now, I know a few of you guys may have seen these in skate shops and thought, who the hell is buying these ridiculously expensive bearings? Well, apparently people with YouTube channels, because I'm going to go through them one by one, give them a speed test, give them an endurance test, and by the end of this video, hopefully we're going to decide whether or not the really expensive bearings are worth it, and I'm also going to give you the best bang for your buck bearings that you can possibly get. I'm going to do this how I usually do these videos. I've prepared everything and edited it together, and we're going to sit and we're going to watch it together, and I'm going to interject every now and then with things that I forgot to say during the video. And we're doing all of this to answer one question. Are they worth it? I have bought £250 worth of bearings to try and find out if the decent ones at £22.50 compare to the ones that cost almost $130. So it's worth noting right at the start, by the way, I'm not going to pause this too much, so don't get too annoyed with me right away. All the prices that are coming up on screen are from like the big brand store chain skate shops, so they're going to be a little bit cheaper than what I'm saying. I bought these from a local skate shop in Cambridge, which is what I encourage anyone to do. I know it's a tiny bit more expensive, but you're supporting people that actually put love into the scene that you're a part of, so make sure you support the local, even if you have to spend a couple extra quid. I know it's hard in these times, but just do it when you can afford to. Anyway, let's get back to the video. I've seen these on skate shops so many times and thought, who the hell is buying these? Well, today we're hopefully going to answer that question, and to test that, originally my plan was to do it on this new Webz shape board. By the way, these are brand new, not for sale, but we're going to be giving away one soon. But sadly, not many people are going to be skating this, so we're going to actually do it with a more standard run-of-the-mill skateboard. This is We've actually already given that board away, sad to say. It was done in a video last week and announced a couple of days ago, so maybe we'll do another one. Let me know if you want to see it. My escapism board. This is my brand as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all four wheels out, and we're going to start with the bearings that cost a ridiculous amount are right here. These are Bone Superior Grade Steel Ceramics. Now, they're an outrageous price, like I just said. We're going to start with the cheapest ones here at $22.50. These ones are £28. These ones are $70, and then we're going to work our way up to these ones right here. We're going to obviously I'm talking in pounds as I go through them, but the dollar amount is on screen. That's why the numbers are different. I do a few tricks, a little first impressions of each one, not too long on each one, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drop it from the ramp over there and see how far it goes on its own, and then either comes back or stops where it is, and we're going to measure exactly how far they go under the exact same conditions with the same wheels, with the same deck, and figure out if those really expensive ones are actually any good and even close to worth the price, because for most skaters, they ain't going to be spending that money. But are we the dumb ones? Let's find out. Okay, now I think just for fun, actually, we'll use these ones first. These are some super old Bones Reds that have been knocking about for over a year. So we're going to do the test first of all with these, and then work our way up to the other four. So what I'm going to do to test it first of all is I'm going to put the board right here on the tail, and I'm just going to drop it, let it ride forward and roll back, and we'll see exactly how many times it goes to the ramp and then makes it back over here. And that. Okay, so these bearings have obviously been broken in. I know a few people will probably say in the comments that these bearings, none of them have been broken in. They're not going to be of their optimal performance. However, the ones that are really expensive, I've skated in my main board for the last month or so. This video I filmed quite a while ago. So at the end of this, I'm going to tell you guys how I feel about them after they've been fully broken in and I've been using them for a while. But after we've gone through all the times and tests here, because all the bearings are on the same playing field, apart from these first ones, they're very old and shitty. So let's get back to the video. That's how we're going to measure the distance. So with all that being said, let's drop this first one of the 5-year-old bearings. Obviously I had to speed this bit up. So they made it about halfway on the second run. That's not too bad. We're going to make a little mark on the floor now so we can refer back to this in a minute. So we're going to measure by the back wheels, okay? And we've got a number 1 there, so we know that's the first one. Right, now we're going to bust these old school wheels off. We're going to use the same wheels, obviously, but we just got to take these bearings out. Now this one has been exploded as well. They've definitely seen better days, these ones. I'm not expecting much from these. Hopefully the brand new ones will hold up. I tell you what, the worst thing about skateboarding is getting bearings out of wheels. It is the worst thing of all time, especially when they're old and rusty. All right, we're cracking the seal on the first Bones Reds. These ones were £22.50 and we bought them from the local skate shop, as I would suggest anyone to do in this sort of scenario. Get your bearings, get your parts from the local shop. Not local to us, mind you, we don't really have a local skate shop here, but we bought them when I was visiting Cambridge yesterday with my brother. All right, so the first ones that we're going to be doing the test with officially is the regular run-of-the-mill Bones Reds. Now, these ones are £22. They used to be like 12, and I've actually found them on wish.com for £1 before. And then I did... Yeah, they were actually £3, not £1. I'm mistaken right there. But yeah, I bought these from wish.com for £3 and bought some normal Bones Reds where I tested them together in a speed test. I'll leave that video link in the description, or if you just type in wish.com bearings if I forget to leave it in the description. But anyway, basically I tested them together with a speed test, and the £3 ones from Wish actually came out faster with more endurance. tolerance. But my speed testing then wasn't as accurate as it is now, so it may have just been my fault, but either way, for £3, you can't really complain. But again, make sure you support the skate shop. Don't just buy shit off Wish for the sake of it.
I did a test with them many years ago, and the test came out for the £1 versions better than the normal versions. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You can watch that video if you want. That's an old one, but we're going to test these out against the really expensive ones and beyond. So that being said, let's get these in the wheels. The easiest way to get bearings on right there, just literally put them on the wheel and add all of your weight. If anyone's setting up a new board, bearings can be a nightmare sometimes. That makes it nice and easy. Right, that's the first set on. Let's embark on that test yet again. First, I'm going to do a quick pump test around the skate park, see how easy it is to get around the entire... In fact, babes, you could, for each one of these, you can time me. What I'll do is I'll go down the first ramp with no pushes. I'll just shift myself down the first ramp with no pushes, and we'll see how fast I can get all the way around again, okay? So if you hold your timer up to the camera, I'm going to use my body weight to shift myself down the ramp, pump all the way around with no pushes, and then when I cross this line again, Holly's going to stop the timer, and we're going to see which ones go the fastest.
Okay, something I forget to mention in the video here is that this wasn't just done from one run. I did 3 runs with each bearing and took the best time of each. So they all came out very similar. Obviously, you can pump at different speeds and hit the corners differently, but I did get the best speed from all of them, and it seems pretty consistent throughout of what you would expect. So, yeah. Obviously, you had to speed this up too, or is it taking ages?
What's it saying?
1881.
18 seconds, .81. Put that on screen for the first ones. Now we're going to do...
I just realized my camera is in the way of that, so I'll move myself into this corner here for now. Let's get back to the video.
The second test on the ramp that we did with the first ones, and they actually feel hella smooth as well, by the way, which is a nice touch. Okay, the next test, as we spoke about at the start, just going to drop it down and see how far it makes it there, back, and there again.
Obviously, speeding all of these tests up.
Already it's made it much faster, or much further, I should say. Not bad at all. We've doubled the distance on the way back. Okay. A very scraggly number 2 right there.
Should have brought some chalk.
Test, the brand new ones. Okay, the next most expensive ones at £27. Very, very similar price. These are the big balls, and these ones are blue.
Ooh.
Very nice. Let's chuck these in the wheels and see how they test.
I think aesthetically, these are my favorite ones. I really like that light blue color. It's one of my favorite colors for sure.
Lovely. Right, these ones look pretty cool as well, I can't lie. Anyone curious of the wheels, these are Spitfire Formula 4s, by the way. Right, there we go. We've got the big balls set up in the wheels. Let's hit the first test. Right, just like my visit to your grandmother's last night, let's hit the pump test.
Oh, ready, steady, go.
So, as you know, all of these get tested 3 times.
Oh, 1738.
Also, we knocked a whole second off with these ones. And to be honest, that felt slower in my head, but yeah, that's actually pretty good. Let's do the second test. 1738. Oh.
Holly loved that joke.
Be free, my child. Okay. And they spun for considerably longer than what the other ones did, in my opinion.
Yeah, one thing that is definitely more consistent with these, the speed didn't make too much of a difference, but the main difference was how long they rolled for off that one drop. So that it was more like an endurance test. It seemed to be the better way of calculating which bearing was the best here.
This is number 3, but this is an extra lap, number 3. So, yeah.
3 plus 1.
All right, considering those ones are only actually like £5 more expensive, about $7 more expensive than the last ones, I would say the improvement of 1 second in the time and the extra bit of distance you got there, considering they look like they rolled for much longer, like for time as opposed to length, I'm pretty happy with how they came out on top. Now we've got the big jump in price. These ones are nearly triple the price at £70. That's about $85. These are the Bones Super Swiss 6 ballers.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even know these ones existed. These ones are like $70, and I actually found out while editing this video that there is one set of bearings that are a very, very similar price. I think they're like £105 compared to the ones that I got were like 98, so they're about £7 more expensive, which is about $10 more expensive. So if you want me to do an extra video, maybe I'll do a short where I compare the 2 top tier ones, or I compare like the 20s to the 140s, then let me know. I just didn't know that they existed when I bought all these bearings for this video. And if they were at the shop, I would have bought those too, but let me know if you want to see those added into a future video.
So let's chuck these in and see how they line up. I had to chase my sticker down. How else would people know that I was riding big ball? Right, let's have a color prediction. What do you reckon? Red, blue, yellow, green?
Blue.
Oh,
they are
dark
blue.
blue. And they come with spacers this time. That extra $50, that matters apparently. So we'll put the spacers in because if they're going to come with them, it might matter. So let's do that as well. Okay, so we're going to put these big blue bollocks into the wheels. They go in after the first one.
Oh.
I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like with each iteration of these bearings, they go in the wheel a lot smoother and a lot easier. That might just be the placebo of maybe I'm just getting good at putting them in, but that just slid in.
Your hair's really gone curly.
Holly calling out my curtain hair.
Why didn't you tell me? Jesus. So we've got this in there. Just pop that on, slips in beautifully, and the little spacer over the nut, and then boom, over the axle, I should say. And then boom, so easy. Okay, so those ones are officially in. Let's hit the first test, the pump test. You know how we do it over here. Got high hopes for these, as they are like 50 pounds extra than the last ones. And then the ones after this are like another 40 pounds on top of this. So big hopes. Let's see how it goes.
And the more expensive the bearings got as well, the smoother the ride became.
Oh.
1681.
Okay, so we shaved half a second for 50 pounds. Let's see how they go on the next test. All right, let's check the endurance test on the 70-pound busters.
So this one, obviously, the endurance, again, a lot, considerably better than the last ones, but not a massive gap.
They've got some endurance on them. It didn't make much difference, but it did make a difference. Have I lost my freaking stone again? No, it's in my pocket. All right, so this is number 4. There you have the 4+1, a considerable distance away from the 3+1, which is right here. The 2, which is on the previous lap, and the number 1, which barely even made it past the halfway point of the first lap.
Yeah, but remember number 1 was the old ass, wet ass, crusty ass bearings that I had in my wheels for God knows how long.
So we've got one more set of bearings to go, as you know. These are the ones that probably everybody's been looking forward to in this video. So comparatively to the rest of them, I'm excited to see how these go, for sure. All right, so the final, the grand reveal. Bearings that 99.9% of skaters will never buy, and for good reason, likely. They're ridiculously expensive.
Like, I used to see these in shops as a kid, or like online in like Route 1 and different skate magazines. Because back when I was a kid, remember, we didn't have internet to buy skateboard stuff. I'm from the Stone Age, where we actually had to use like a magazine that was delivered to your door, and you used to have to pick stuff out and order it like that. These bearings were always in there and always super expensive. I used to be like, who the hell is ever going to buy bearings this expensive? You can get like a whole setup pretty much for the price of these bearings.
Crack the seal, unsheath these bad boys.
I'm gonna say red.
Red? I'm gonna say yellow. Oh, they're white.
Oh, they're not.
Luxury.
That's luxury right there. No actual, no spaces in these ones. Maybe that's a design choice. Maybe they don't need them. Who knows? But yeah, I wonder if that is the most luxury Bones red sticker you can possibly get. We'll save that one for our most expensive board ever. Right here, we're gonna have a little look.
Yeah, so subscribe to the channel if you want to see that video. I'm going to build the most expensive board you can possibly build to just see how classy we can make a board. But yeah, if you want to see that video, subscribe because it'll be coming in the next few months, I reckon.
Look at these. They've got Bones Reds China on them, and it just says Bones Ceramic Reds along the top, so not much difference there. Let's whack these in the wheels, cream color, and see how they hold up. Funny thing is, while they are nice and white now, with every skate bearing, the second you actually get like a few good runs on it, they're going to be just as black as the rest of them. So the cream color, while it looks luxury, ain't going to last long for now. But they are going in super nice and super swift, just like the ones before, which is what we love to see. All right, there we go. On she goes. Let's take these bad boys for a ride. Not gonna lie, they do look pretty cool. All right, the final test. Let me know when to go.
I did think that these bearings actually look really nice on the wheel, but yeah, like I said, as soon as you've skated them for a little while,
Corner, I can't lie.
they're going to be completely black just like every other one.
And stop.
1778.
1778. Let's do one final run to see if this is actually a fluke or if they're actually not that great.
So at this point, I was like, what the hell? These ones are slower than the last ones. And for 2 runs now, they've been slower. And we're doing one final run here to see if we can really actually get a faster time. Because obviously all the last bearings had 3 runs each and we did the best time for them. But this one, we're going to see.
1, go.
Okay, it feels so slow around that corner. Stop.
1701.
So we tested these 3 times to make sure this wasn't a fluke, and they've actually not even held up against the previous level. Maybe
And barely even held up against the ones that were like 28 pounds. That's like $35.
they've got better endurance, but the speed didn't seem to really match up. Let's take them to the final test and see what they come up as. All right, here we go. Let's see if they can redeem themselves a little bit right here. Off you go.
So the thing about these ones is they just
They look
went.
hella fast here, I can't lie.
They just went for so long.
Yeah.
They just kept creeping up.
It's the endurance test now. They just keep going.
So they almost made it 2 full laps.
Yeah, that is pretty damn good. It's clear to see that these actually are so much better for how long the wheel will spin after you kick it, as opposed to the actual speed you're gonna get from pumping the ramp. So you'll last a lot longer on one push, but you won't necessarily get any more speed, which is probably best. You don't wanna go too fast and end up deleting yourself from the skate park map.
Yeah, I think the cap in speed is actually pretty good. Like, I don't know if they're intentionally made like that. They probably are made to go as fast as possible, but I think you don't want to go too fast. And obviously there is a cap of how fast you can go with the weight of the board and just the way physics work. But I feel like the speed that they go is pretty optimal, and the endurance of how far you go off a push is good. But like I said, after I finish talking here, I'm going to give you guys a few words about how they feel after I've skated them for a full month. So I'll let myself finish this video quickly.
Pack. Overall, if you wanted to get something that you know is probably going to last forever, I would go for these, because I have been told they do have a lifetime guarantee. Don't quote me on that. I will check and put it on screen now. Otherwise, I honestly think that the best bang for your buck money would be the second ones, because they had a great time. They did a great lap here. They only made it slightly less far than that one did, and they're only about £27, which is about $33. So if you wanted the Webz seal of approval on one of them, I would put that on the £27 one. The £70 ones and these ones don't really have a skate use case for me, because they're just too expensive for what they are. Anyway, with all that being said, let me know what bearings you guys are skating, and I'll see you in the next video.
Right, let's jump back to the office real quick. So I'll make this really quick. After skating these for a whole month, I will say I literally could not tell you the difference between them and just the normal Bones Reds. Like, after a while, they feel exactly the same. You adapt to them, and it honestly doesn't feel any different or any better. I think the main difference, if you want speed and smoothness, is the wheels. Go for some Spitfire Formula 4s. They're a great all-terrain wheel, good for street, good for park. And the ones that I'm testing out at the minute that I'll do a video on soon are the Power Peralta Dragon Formula. They are super, super nice. I've got a lot of good things to say about them. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'd highly recommend checking out the big ball bearings. They were the best bang for the buck value, and I'll see you guys in the next video.